Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to learn more about the Ford City-Taft Sanitation District. Today we are going to be talking about ongoing maintenance projects and our projections for the next 5 years. If you have any questions related to today's presentation, please send them to us via email or voicemail. I will provide contact information at the end of this video. Throughout this presentation, you will see Ford City-Taft Sanitation District, abbreviated to FCTHSD. The district has 3 main components: the collection system, the wastewater treatment plant, and the disposal farm. Here is a map of our district. This is Highway 119 and this is Highway 33. The areas in gray are the incorporated city of Taft, and this northern pink area is the Ford City area, and this southern pink area is Taft Heights. To the east, off of Ash Street and Airport Road, is the wastewater treatment plant. The treatment plant is operated jointly by the City of Taft and the Ford City-Taft Sanitation District. The plant itself is over 70 years old and it processes about 900,000 gallons of wastewater each day. We call that 0.9 MGD, or million gallons per day. After the water has been cleaned in the wastewater treatment plant, it is used to irrigate an agricultural farm. The farm grows non-human consumption crops like alfalfa. Here is an aerial picture of the wastewater treatment plant. Wastewater is transferred to the wastewater treatment plant via the collection system. From your home, the sewer system is connected through a sewer lateral to a pipe in the middle of your street or alley. Manholes in the streets and alleys allow us to better monitor the system, clean out sewer lines, and find problem areas. Sewer line infrastructure is a shared resource among our community to get everyone's wastewater safely to the wastewater treatment plant. A failure of any sewer line downstream from your house, whether it's on your block or it's 10 blocks away, could cause a lot of problems for you. It's very important that all portions of the system function correctly. In total, the Ford City-Taft Sanitation District serves about 569 acres in total land area and about 2,740 individual parcels. The total length of sewer lines is just over 18 miles. At this time, of the 18 miles of sewer lines that make up the collection system, nearly 11,000 feet, or about 2 miles, have been identified as having been damaged through time and use, and these sewer lines are in need of replacement. Additionally, we suspect that more than 11,000 feet of sewer is in need of replacement. Only 20% of the system gets surveyed each year, and as more surveys are done, more segments are identified for replacement each year. Maintaining our 70-year-old sewer collection system is an ongoing project, and we can expect continuous maintenance on the system for the foreseeable future. As I mentioned, the oldest parts of the collection system are 70 years old. There are many cracks in pipes, some missing segments, buildup of fats, oils, and grease, or what we call fogs, FOGs. There are roots intruding into some pipes, and in some areas the soils have literally collapsed around the pipe and are no longer properly supporting the pipes. The wastewater treatment plant is similarly old, but it recently underwent renovations, and we have no need to upgrade anything at the plant at this time. It is important to note that the plant could need renovations in the future if the state implements any new environmental requirements. We don't expect any new regulations in the near future, but it is something that we should consider for the long term. Here are some pictures of those failing sewer pipes. All of the pictures on this slide are good examples of cracks and missing chunks of our sewer pipes. When portions of pipe fall into the sewer system, they can cause backups, but even worse is that the wastewater is now leaking into our groundwater. Wastewater returning to our groundwater system is not only bad for the environment, it can cause soil erosion that in turn can cause even larger failures of our sewer collection system. These pictures show some of the areas in our sewer collection system that have large portions of the pipe that are missing entirely. Additionally, anytime you see standing water in these pictures, it's a good indication that the sewer is not draining properly. Our sewer system is gravity-fed, and water should move fairly quickly through the system if everything is working correctly. When we see large amounts of water in these inspection photos, we know that there's a problem in the segment or possibly further downstream from the segment. Here are a couple of examples of buildup in our sewer collection systems. Fats, oils, and grease, along with other debris, can get caught on joints in the pipes, cracks, and intruding roots and begin to build up more and more. Our sewer crews do their best job to remove buildup on a regular basis, but large blockages like these can certainly be a problem. These pictures show cases of root intrusion. Roots can work their way in between joints and cracks in the sewer pipes. Not only does this mean that our wastewater can now leak out of the sewer system through such widened joints or cracks, it also provides a catch point for debris to build up. And finally, the soils of the Taft area present a challenge for all underground utilities. Some soils are expansive and tend to add additional stress to the sewer pipes, while other soils are collapsing and causing large voids of soil underground. When these large voids form near our sewer pipes, the pipes are no longer properly supported and pipes will begin to sag, crack, and crumble. Not only does this mean that our sewer pipes have been damaged, this can also be a big problem for your sewer laterals. Sewer pipes may be shifting in the street and causing a connection between the sewer main and your sewer lateral to break. If the district were to replace all 11,000 feet of the failing sewer system, we would expect the project to cost about $6 million. Instead of spending a lump sum of $6 million, the district is proposing spending an average of $350,000 each year to systematically replace all damaged lines. We'll replace the worst lines first and work our way towards replacing all damaged lines. Replacing sewer lines means improved performance for the entire system, reduced numbers of backflows, possibly backflows into your residence, and fewer potential claims against the district. In order to carry out this ongoing maintenance project, the district is proposing a change to sewer fees that will spread out the cost fairly across all of our customers. Here is a forecast graph of the district's finances if no change to sewer fees is made. This blue line here represents expenses to the district. You can see that next year, fiscal year 2021, we expect to spend about $1.3 million. As you can see, the blue line increases slightly each year. This is due to inflation. Each year it costs us a little bit more to pay our utilities and to pay for construction projects and things like that. This green line here represents our revenue. The vast majority of our revenue comes from our sewer fees that we charge to our customers. You can see that we get about $1 million in revenue each year. So right from the start, you can see that there's an imbalance. It costs us more each year to run the district than we are taking in. You'll notice that the green line never goes up or down on this graph because this graph represents a scenario where sewer fees never increase or decrease. As a result, the blue line, our expenses, keeps getting further and further away from the green line, our revenue. Ideally, these two lines would be exactly the same. Whatever we charge of our customers is exactly what's needed to run the district. No more and no less. Because our blue line is so far away from our green line, that means that we have to pull money from somewhere else to continue paying the district's debts. That's where this red line comes in. This red line represents basically our savings account. We have built up a little bit of money over the years to help pay for major unexpected expenses, and we put that money into this savings account. Our goal is to keep at least $1 million in this account to pay for emergency projects. Maybe a major piece of equipment at the wastewater treatment plant fails, or maybe there's a natural disaster that causes a problem for our system, something like that. The $1 million is kind of like a safety net. Because our expenses exceed our revenues, we have to pull money out of this savings account. So remember that we want the red line to be above $1 million. Here in fiscal year 2022-2023, you can see that we will have pulled enough money from our savings account to dip below our targeted $1 million. And here in fiscal year 2025-2026, we've officially run out of money and are no longer capable of running the district. This graph is a really good way of visualizing the financial trouble our district is in. If we went this route, we would have to start skipping normal maintenance projects, and we would be providing a subpar service to our customers. And you, as the customer, you would notice the difference. So in order to avoid this situation, the district is proposing a change to the sewer fees. Keep this chart in mind because in a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you what it will look like with the proposed changes to fees. The last time we increased fees was in 2017, and we increased the fees about 8.66%. In fact, that increase in 2017 was the end of a 4-year period of increases where we increased 11.7% the first year, 10.47% the second year, 9.48% the third year, and 8.66% the fourth year. The reason we decided to increase fees back then was so that we could repay a $3 million USDA loan that was shared by the district and the City of Taft. We took out this loan so that we could perform those wastewater treatment plant upgrades that I mentioned earlier. This loan has very good rates, 0% interest for the entirety of the loan's 20-year term. At this time, we are proposing an increase of 7.5% each year for 5 years. I know that 5 years of increases sounds really steep, and your first instinct is to say no, but let me show you some facts about it first. By steeply increasing our fees like this, our district will remain debt-free, and it means that we don't expect to sharply raise rates in the foreseeable future. This is kind of like ripping the bandage off method, where we get all of the increases out of the way in the beginning, and it'll make our finances a lot better down the road. I can also tell you that the proposed rate increases does not pay for more staff or higher salaries. The biggest thing that this increase will pay for are those sewer repairs that we talked about earlier, the $350,000 per year. Fees are assessed on a per ESFD basis. An ESFD is an equivalent single-family dwelling. Your standalone home is one ESFD, and places that use more water than you, maybe a business or a school, will be charged more than one ESFD. Places that use less water than your average home would be charged less than one ESFD. The current annual fee is $379.80 per ESFD. For the vast majority of our customers, sewer fees are charged through the tax roll, so you don't get a bill from us in the mail. Instead, this is included as an item on your property tax. So if you pay your property tax twice a year, you may see a line item for $189.90 on your taxes. Here I have listed the proposed sewer fees for the next 5 years. After 5 years, we would expect sewer fees to simply match inflation rates, no additional increases beyond that. If we treated it on a monthly basis, you would only be paying $2 to $3 extra each month compared to the year before. In total, the first year, the sewer fee would be $408.28. The second year, the sewer fees would be $438.90. The third year, the sewer fee would be $471.82. The fourth year, the sewer fee would be $507.21. And finally, in the fifth year, the sewer fee would be $545.25. This proposed rate is about double the rate of inflation for 5 years. Let's look at what that does to our chart. Wow, so that's a big change to our chart. Just as before, the blue line represents expenses to the district, the green line is our revenue, and the red line represents our savings account. As you can see, the blue line is still the same. It starts at $1.3 million and slowly increases along with the rate of inflation. For the purposes of these estimates, we assume that inflation is about 3%, which is pretty consistent with the recent past. You'll notice that because we are charging more money, the green revenue line is increasing. For all 5 years of our proposed plan, the revenue line is still below the expense line. So we're still operating at a loss for these 5 years, but we're doing a lot better. The green line is climbing to meet the blue line, and after 5 years, the green line and the blue line are almost identical here. That's exactly what we want to see. We want our expenses and our revenue to be as close to one another as possible. The red line is our reserved funds. This is like our savings account. And remember that I told you that our goal is to keep this red line above $1 million so that we can perform emergency construction projects without taking out loans or going bankrupt. This chart is a really good representation of how the fee increase can positively impact our district's finances. You'll notice that the red line flattens out. It begins to dip initially to cover the difference between our revenue and our expenses, but then it flattens out around $1.4 million for the foreseeable future. Additionally, the blue and green lines, our expenses and our revenue, are really closely matched. This chart assumes that after 5 years, we will only need to make adjustments for inflation. So if inflation rates are low, both of these lines will dip downward together. Similarly, if inflation rates are high, they will both move upward together. As part of this proposal, the Ford City-Taft Sanitation Board of Directors will conduct a public hearing on the proposed annual sewer service charge increase. The public hearing is scheduled for 2 p.m. on May 5th. The hearing will be held at 1115 Truxton Avenue in downtown Bakersfield. Because of the declared local health emergency, the Board of Directors meetings are not physically open to the public. Instead, the meetings are live streamed on Kern County Board of Supervisors' YouTube page, as well as the county's government access television station, KGov. Because you cannot be there in person to comment on the proposed fee increase, you'll need to submit your comment either via email, the preferred method, or through voicemail or through the mail. To submit your comment via email, you'll need to email publiccomment@kerncounty.com. Your email must be received no later than 4 p.m. on May 4th. Please include your name in your email and indicate the agenda item number you wish to address, and note that it's in the PM session. The agenda item numbers have not yet been assigned. You'll need to look up the agenda item when we get closer to the hearing date. Agendas can be found on the Kern County Board of Supervisors website. To submit your comment via voicemail, please call 661-868-3640. Please leave a brief message of no more than 2 minutes in length. Voicemails must be received before 4 p.m. on May 4th. Please state and spell your name at the beginning of the message, and please include the agenda item number you wish to address, and note it's the PM session. Again, please check the board agenda on the Board of Supervisors website to find the item number. To submit your comment via the mail, please address your letter to the Clerk of the Board, 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California, 93301. Letters must be received prior to the board meeting, and I would suggest getting it in a couple days early. Please indicate the agenda item number you wish to address and note it's the PM session. You should probably also include your name on the letter. If you have any questions about the proposed fee increase or about the district itself, we have 2 ways you can contact us. You can email me, Leslie Edwards, at edwardsl@kerncounty.com. Alternatively, you can call my colleague, Adrian Nava, at 661-862-8688. During this local health emergency, email is probably the fastest way to reach us, so if you would like a quick response, I encourage you to use email. And remember, our sewer system is a shared resource. Please only send wastewater and toilet paper into our sewer system. Do not flush or deposit any of these common troublemakers. The sewer pipes and the wastewater treatment plant are not good at filtering these items, and they can cause major backups in the system, affecting not only your household, but all of your neighboring households as well. Please be smart, stay safe, and have a great day.